What's up? It's your girl Camson Shalom family. So I wanted to make this video about mumble rappers, and I know you heard other people talk about it, but let me tell you, this hit me, and I was like, "Whoa, that's deep." I was just riding and talking to the Most High one day, and He said, "Mumble rappers are mumbling because it's a manifestation of the people being asleep." And for a minute, I was like, "What? They're mumbling because they're asleep?" And I got to thinking about it. I was like, that makes sense. He said, that's why they're only signing people. They're given the biggest contracts. They're given the highest amount, the amount of money they agree to for the contract. And he said they're not giving it to people who are rapping about the truth, trying to enlighten people, encourage people. And so, y'all, you have to realize the people who are paying for these people to come out of the hood and put them on platforms before us where we can't even get away from it. Because I'm sure everybody under my voice right now have heard of a mumble rapper, right? Even if you just seen a meme about one. And so that's an agenda. That's an agenda. And so when you're sleepy, you like, you're like, what are you saying? I do it all the time. And so if your consciousness is low, if you're not awake yet, if you don't even know who you are, you hadn't even begun the journey. It's a mockery as well that Satan is making of us. Even for them to have the dreadlocks and everything and growing their hair out, most of them probably don't even have a clue what the purpose of dreadlocks is. Samson had dreadlocks because hair is like a spiritual antenna. There is proof that Native Americans who fought in war were really good at hunting people and finding people just by following tracks and smells. And when they cut all the Native Americans' hair off, and they went back into war, they weren't as good at tracking people. So this has been proven, scriptural, and you can look at science, just like I just did. And it's really sad to see this because, we come so far. We lost some great people in my generation. To me, we lost some great artists who were doing some great things and trying to be positive. This includes Biggie and Tupac. Everything they did wasn't bad. Pimp C too. They spoke a lot of truth. And now we're in a time where hip hop really is dead. And it's dead because the people are dead. The people getting into contracts mind, that pineal gland is calcified. They're doing drugs, they're eating whatever they want to eat, no discipline, definitely not following the words of the Most High, His laws, statutes, and commandments. And so what happens is, as a person awakens to a higher consciousness, a God consciousness, coming to understand, believe, and align with the Most High, their speech, the way they talk changes. The content of their conversation, the content of their music will change. A prime example is Kendrick Lamar. We're kind of watching him go through an awakening right now. Just to know he's a Hebrew Israelite. And so his music is beginning to reflect that higher state of consciousness. David Banner, we've watched him, and he's at a point now where he's become a very important tool for black people. He has just allowed himself to be a vessel to do what a lot of people are afraid of doing. And I just think that that's phenomenal. His album, The God Box, was phenomenal. His superhero idea, but with melanated people, phenomenal, awesome. And I support this man and everything that he is doing. But if we would have judged him from 10 years ago, you see what I mean? So I'm not saying that these guys, these mumble rappers cannot change and do something great. But I definitely see that they're doing the drugs. They're living the way that they're living because they are under a spell, and it has them sleep. Just as the people in church are asleep, mumble rappers are asleep. And one is not worse than the other. They about in the same boat. And when you don't have a higher consciousness, there is no access to the creator of the world to correct you or to guide you and lead you. And so these people are being used to continue to defile our people. They see the Hebrew Israelites standing out on the corner. They see our videos. They see our memes. They see how we're changing what we wear and covering our head and what we dress. They see all of this happening. And the issue with all of this happening is they don't want this awakening to happen. They don't want another Maccabean revolt to happen. And so they're going to continue to put out what is profane, what is poisoning the minds, not of just children. I have people in my age group, late 30s, early 40s, and they love mumble rap. They go to their concerts, they post their videos on their Facebook and Instagram page, on Snapchat, playing it in the background. It's just, it's weird. And I'm like, you're 40. Why are you, what is this person saying that you're into? And so it shows that your state of mind, whatever you like, and you show yourself to be like-minded. A man is so a man thinketh, so is he. And so if these things are entertaining to you, or you're drawn to these things, then it may be something going on with you. And so just to add to that, just to drop some quick little knowledge on, they've been saying Gucci Mane, he's a clone, he's not really him. And I've seen pictures where he has two total different ears. It's true. You can't, your working out will not change the shape of your ears. I mean, very significant change. And so what people fail to realize is the movie Boys from Brazil exposed that to us. And so here's a little something quick that I wrote, and I think it's going to be very enlightening. And it's also going to give some truth seekers some new information that you can use to do your research. But here we go. So in Boys from Brazil, they showed how to make clones, and there are synthetics and actual clones made from your DNA. It's two different things. And synthetics usually begin to disintegrate after a certain length of time, like Michael Jackson. They'll say it's plastic surgery, and sometimes it may be, but sometimes you see the clone, okay? People must realize the Ashkenazi elitists who run this world are the hidden hand, and they sponsor these artists, and they intend on making 100% more than they pay them in their slave contracts. So if you become difficult, or you become awakened, and you try to infuse truth in your music for the masses, your ass will get killed, or cloned, or both. See, that's why the industry, people who have worked in the industry, they know that this is the way it goes. Everyone who's worked in the industry, they know. You may only know a certain level, but you know. And this isn't strange at all. It's been the norm at least since the 1940s and 50s, when Project Paperclip really got up and running. After Hitler has faked his death, and all the scientists were shipped here to America to set up the same system of supremacy and mind control and propaganda by programming the masses. See, they improved upon Hitler's reign. We aren't shipped to concentration camps, but we're put in the hood and given drugs and guns and informants who live among us to lead us to the slaughterhouse. All while most people have no clue that's where they are being led to. And so this man, Gucci, with many others, you better believe they've been threatened in jail. They've been threatened with jail time, finally go to jail, and during the sentence, many times pressure is put on them to conform to the Ponzi game, to the chess game that Satan is playing. Now, if they threaten your family for your refusal to submit, what would you do? Because I know what I do. I would probably end up folding, because I'm afraid that because of me, something terrible will happen to my family. I'm just being honest. That's human nature, and y'all can't say that y'all can't feel where I'm coming from. So, what about if they told you they already have your DNA? They already got it ready. They had it the last time you was arrested. We got your, this is really how it go down. We got your DNA. When you went to the hospital, when you was conceived, when you had dinner work, we got plenty of DNA on you. What if they told you, we already have a replacement ready to will out because you've been giving us a lot of problems? So, yeah, we got that process started 4 or 5 years ago. Now, how clones age, there are a lot of different things that they do that we don't know the details about. And that really don't matter right now. But the point is, they have this knowledge and they know how to do this, and they have been doing this. And if you are threatened, if your family is threatened, first of all, if they threaten you and tell you, look, if you don't line up and get right and do what we tell you to do, you need to mumble rap every time you rap. I don't want to hear now word come out of your mouth correct. You're going to mumble, and you're going to continue to mumble. 10, 15 years from now, the same cat's going to be mumbling. because their brain has been manipulated and programmed and put into a dead, frozen state where they are the walking dead. They're asleep and don't even realize it. Living does not mean you're breathing. Living means you are aware. You know what's happening. You are awakened. You are a spirit being who has a body and a soul. You realize that. You realize you are not your body. And these people are the walking dead. Now, I could imagine if somebody cloned you, your mama and your dad, and your spouse and your kids, they gonna know it ain't you no more. You know that, right? If don't nobody else notice nothing weird about you, your folks will. Now see, this is why when people who are rumored to have been cloned never allow their family to do interviews or anything. Just like Dave Chappelle. His cousin came out and was like, that's not my cousin. See, people fail to understand that RFID chips and clone and all that, that's old technology. The Egyptians did it as well. The Atlanteans, they did it as well. In Atlantis, they used crystals to implant in the body to control behavior and healing, among many other things. See, these people are owned just like slaves were owned. These people must ensure repayment with interest to their masters by any means necessary. And those who refuse to be controlled usually end up like Tupac, Biggie, and Pimp C, as well as Kanye and Prodigy. See, they can stage the situation to look any way they wanted to, because guess what? They own the media just like they own the artists. So I'm not saying a death never occurs the way they say it does. But do you really expect these people to always tell you the truth? See, the Sedition Act and the Alien Friends Act says anything said or used in movies, music, media, and journalism basically must be approved by the government. This means nothing they want to hide will ever be exposed to you, or you face federal charges. And though they claim on Wikipedia this law was expired, it remained in effect today under Title 50 of the United States Code. You can do your own research with that one. So take what I got and do your own research and learning and truth seeking. We perish for a lack of knowledge and understanding, people, and I had to present this to you all because I was like, okay, maybe I have a few things I can share that's not the typical rhetoric that you hear repeated over and over again. So hopefully you learned something new. If you like this video, make sure you support me. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like the video. Share the video. Comment. I like to talk here. I'm not going to ever disable my comments. And yes, I get a lot of trolls and a lot of terrible things said to me, but I'm not going to take away the comments because it's for the good of the people. We need some type of communication, and computers and devices has taken that away from us, and we don't want to use our human element because that's what makes us human. So that's why you will forever be able to comment on my channel. I will not ever disable anything, and y'all have my permission to deal with trolls because I don't have the time to deal with them, and I put my heart and soul into this and what I do. So I appreciate you all for appreciating what we do here. And make sure you check us out next live show, Remnants Gathering. If you want to get on the email list, just email us. Email us at remnantsgathering@gmail.com or cam2479@gmail.com. KHAM2479@gmail.com. And check out remnantsgathering.blogspot again. It's some really good stuff on there. So I think that's it. So yeah, mumble rappers are mumbling because they are spiritually asleep and dead.